Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a tactics talk. Welcome back, guys. I've got my coffee. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Let's check out this replay for this morning. It is me and the Chuckakor playing the Manticore. That's weird. That hardly ever happens. You've never seen a video of me playing the Manticore, I'd imagine, on this channel. So you're in for a treat. First video of me playing the Manticore on the channel. No, this is like the 89th, okay? Maybe the 69th. That's probably more accurate. All tier 10, we are on a map called Ghost Town, so Himmel's Ghost Town Dorf, as we like to say. If you take a look at the setup in the matchmaker, there's only two scouts, right? Myself and the enemy scout. If you're going to play a scout, my friends, you got to do it right, okay? There are many maps in this game, probably more maps than not there's probably more of the maps that are like this than, say, a city map, where you would love to have the only scout or a good scout mid to late game. It's good early game as well, so we're going to talk about scouting for the whole thing. But you want to stay alive, right? You want to get your scout to the mid to late game. You'd love to kill the other scout or counter him or neutralize him or whatever the case may be. But if you're going to play scouts, you've got to take into account the fact that you need to get your scout to the mid to late game. That's where they shine. There's less guns in the game, which means there's less vision saturation, which means you have more mobility to move around. And typically the end game of most battles, not all, but a significant number, is digging out the campers, my friends. There's always a camper. There's always somebody humping a bush in the back, hugging a rock, not moving from cap, full hit points, and here you come having played the whole game with your reduced hit points more than likely. There's probably some arty left because they just hide in corners the whole time anyway, and you need a good scout. A good scout will make it much easier to dig people out. This map in particular is really important for good scouts. And in fact, it's actually both sides. Over here on the west, up on this escarpment up here, plateau kind of deal. It's nice to have a good scout up there, although that's a little bit closer in. There are some scouting possibilities here on G3 or so for crossers. But really the main game, at least initially, is over here on the 8, 9, and 10 column. I load in, I'm in a Manticore. The corresponding scout on the other side is a 13-105. I know I am stealthier than he is. So I should have an advantage. And right off the bat, I know I need to counter this guy if I can. If I can get rid of him, then it's kind of all over on the east side. They're in big trouble. If I can get rid of him, I can do all kinds of good scouting. So let's get going here on Himmel's Ghost Town Dorf. And so I'm going to immediately go into this middle row of bushes. If you don't know about this for scouts, let me show you what I'm talking about. These row of bushes here provide good cover for you to move in. Good concealment, I suppose, would be better to say. There is some cover with the undulating hills there, but it's not great. So I'm going to come in here really quickly and then kind of pause. A little pause X right here. Okay, good. I figured I would catch somebody crossing. Sometimes you get some extra hits right there. There goes some shots in there. They miss. And I'm not seeing this guy. Oh, there he is. Perfect. All right, let's just pause this for a second. It just went away, but right here in the middle of the screen, it said spotted 13-105. You can't be looking in every direction in this game. I kind of missed him, actually, initially when he popped up. You saw how late it was that I turned, but I did notice that it said spotted 13-105. So I had to pause and look at, cross-check, get over into the mini-map over here and go, where is that dude? Ah, there he is. So like, okay, fine. Didn't see me? He's in trouble, right? I figure since he hasn't seen me while I was moving, I'll just kind of sneak up in here, and we're going to look for a spot where I can kind of see him as he moves around. And it's unfortunate. There we go. Unfortunate for him. So we get all that spotting. He's gone, and holy cow, this has completely broken open this game, at least for me, over here on this side. Now, it's not an auto win. Some maps it's more important than others. I happen to find it really important on this one. I also want to just take a small moment and have you take a look at the mini-map, because this is a phenomenon that happens with a scout that's doing a good job and getting lights. You get people who like to shoot at them. The entire team has kind of congregated down here in the southeast, and only one leopard is headed over to the west. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but if we don't get moving and try to get some more map control, it can be a bad thing. I'm not saying don't do good scouting. Just pay attention that sometimes, like moths to the flame, your entire team will be trying to snipe the several people you see. However, howsoever, let's look at it from another angle. They're seeing a scout player doing a pretty good job of getting lights. The enemy scout is dead, and they know I'm about to give them some more action. Look at this. Just scooch forward a little bit. Nobody's ever going to see the Manticore. Just isn't happening. Somebody would have to YOLO at me to make that happen. Look at this. Just got them all lit up. This poor 4005 was in that bush. Now, as soon as, let's just talk about that poor guy who just died. As soon as his 13105 died, he needed to get out of that bush. If you're on the enemy team and you see a Manticore, your 13105 dies in the bushes right there, you have to assume the Manticore did that, and he will soonly be close. And with the CVS and the spotting and the burn through at tier 10, that bush ain't enough, especially with the camo of a 4005. So he needed, as soon as that 105 died, to get the heck out. He may have thought it was already too late and didn't want to move, but poor Cool 2 is now headed back to cool his heels in the garage. These bushes I'm in, you can scooch forward a little bit more. You can actually get to about right here in these bushes just to get a little bit more vision forward, but there's not a whole lot of reason to do that right now. I've got everything lit that I need. Our tanks are starting to filter into the rest of, I don't know why this M60 is doing this, but he's about to pay a heavy price for that one. Boom, boom, just absolutely getting shredded. All kind. I mean, I even have a E100 JP0. Actually, that's an actual E100 back here, isn't it? No, it's a 270. 270, 278, 220, 221, whatever it takes. 277, that's it. So, that was fine. Got some lights. Killed a guy in the corner. Taking a look at how many things are spotted. The only thing I'm really missing is a grill and a couple leopards. And I really am assuming the leopards are over on the west side or maybe on the hill. It's possible one is up here behind this rock. We're going to go find out, right? So the bottom line of what I'm saying here is I'm not going to sit in that bush ad nauseum for the next, 13 minutes of the game. There's no reason to. Let's go around and find where the rest of their tanks are. Start picking them apart. This is where an unopposed light tank starts to shine. You do have to be careful, especially at tier 8 and above, because mediums will carry CVSs. So you can't just assume you're never ever going to be spotted. But check this out. That's nice. We'll take a few lights on these guys. Maybe somebody can kill that M60. All right, the M60 is a problem, potentially. He's got pretty good vision. Nope, no longer a problem. He's back at garage. We're going to try to sneak right by, and I really think this Mouse just isn't going to see me. And he's in a horrible position. So we're just gathering up some more hit points off of this guy. Kind of come up. Oh, look at this. There's an Artie. There's this dude over here. Take that shot of opportunity. Unfortunately, he gets his front towards me real quick. Now he knows I'm there. That is one of the negatives, guys, of taking shots as a light tank. I just gave away my position. The 268-4 knows, if he's paying attention down here, over here, right, on the hit log, that a Manticore just hit him. And if he has the wherewithal to do it in the SA, he might click over here and then type in Manticore, all right? Manticore in the north east corner, or something like that, okay? So realize, just because you're unseen, you shoot somebody, it's a de facto spotting mechanism in the game. Okay, so this dude's kind of hanging out here. He gets into the middle there. I'm thinking I can kind of scooch up on this guy and he won't see me, or just keep him lit. I was wondering if maybe I could light some more guys. I don't want to shoot him now. I mean, that's an auto light. So resist that temptation, guys. You're thinking, ooh, man, what a great scouter I am. I'm an absolute light tank master. Nobody sees me. I've already got 4,000 assists. Let me just scooch in here and shoot this mouse, Well, pay attention to the bushes and whether it's double bush and all that. He's a little bit behind this bush here, but I wouldn't trust that, especially at this range. So I'm just lighting this dude, and we got that guy kind of hanging out there. We're going to back out. Watch this. So I back out. What I wanted to do was get around this rock so that guy can't possibly spot me and shoot the 268-4, but he is not giving me any help. We got a leopard hanging out there. We shoot him. Get a little help from dispersion right there, that's for sure. And these guys are in trouble. I mean, they know there's a bunch of them out in the field. And we're just absolutely shredding. Look at this JPZ sitting in the middle. Now, I'm not getting spotting out of this, actually. So it may be a bit of a mistake on my part that I'm not close enough. But the mouse has got me cut off. I'm also kind of looking at the west side thinking, do I need to get over there? But there's so much to shoot over here and keep lit and whatnot. I'm going to scooch down here. Maybe we can get a shot on this guy. Here we go. Yep, we did, but we bounced. Pretty glad I didn't get lit by the Maus, but he is just underneath the horizon line there. I wish I had checked it, because if you noticed I didn't. I kind of made an assumption right there. Bit dangerous. You also saw me fighting the gun elevation on this tank. If you're on a downslope, sometimes you can't even get the gun up there high enough to see the guy, or to put the pipper on him anyway. We're just going to scooch around and see if... Oh, look at this. Even more. All right, so take a look at the spotting circle. This is hugely important for light tanks. There's a couple guys slightly inside of it. I have pretty good camo even while shooting. I'm fairly certain if I shoot this guy, I'm not going to get spotted based on shooting. Oh, that bounce, that sucked. Go back. Okay, nothing going on. Good, good, good. Scooch back. Somebody just shot into that bush. Did you see that? So, that was very interesting. I was out in the open. I shot this guy. He saw the direction the shot came from, and he shot into the bush. The assumption that I was in the bush. Pretty good guess, but unless you line it up perfectly, it's hard to tell sometimes. So that worked out. I'm going to try to kill this guy if we can. There we go. Kind of scooch back and forth. Let's see what this... Oh, he's going to give me a back. Oh, look at this guy. I got the back of him, maybe the back of him. Long reload on the Manticore, so we'll just take that shot, because that looks like the one I've got. Thump him. I do pay attention to what they're looking at. Like, this guy's sort of looking my way, but he's busy with someone else. If the gun comes online, I'm a little bit worried he might be getting too close, right? So he kind of drove a little bit closer in. Still at the edge of the line right there, but he is closer than the rest of them. That was a lucky shot. Thank you, RNG/dispersion. Very nice. We're up to 1,200 damage, 4,200. So you saw I'm not getting a whole lot of spotting. Oh, right on. I find the Maus. He's giving me the side turret. And he's a one-shot. I'm going to take that chance right there that maybe I'm a little too close to some of these guys. I don't think I am. I'd like to close down the Maus. What does that do for me? It opens up the push towards the hill. As you can see, the Leopard's coming from the other side. And this is a Rompel. The Rompel is in effect at this point. We'll just move on in here. Oh, we found an arty. That's fantastic. Reload, reload, reload. He knows he's lit. That's about 3 seconds. Off he goes. Didn't even see me on that. That was pretty good. There's a Leopard up there, so I really don't want to get shot by him too much. We're going to come around this corner. I sort of screwed this up. I find both of them. So we kill the one. I'm going to back out of this. The plan here, fellas, was to come up top and dive off, but then I saw the Leopard coming, so I know I'm going to have to get a shot on this guy, and he's charging me. Not reloaded yet. I should have just jumped, but I looked for some high ground, and I couldn't quite get to the guy. It was a bit of a bummer. Like, okay, there we go. We got... Oh, no! I completely shot in the wrong direction as I went off the rock right there. 6,110 assists, 2,019 damage. I don't think I get any more damage off of this. As I recall, no, they're going to die here pretty quickly. He's got, what, 110 hit points. He did get one kill in before he died. Good on him. I think the Leopard kills. I actually get closer than I thought I would right here. I think the Leopard actually reloads. Yeah, there we go. And game over. So we got 3 kills out of that, 2,000 damage, over 6,000 assists, so 8,000 combined on Ghost Town. I just want to show that for you guys who are trying to get better at light tanks and the things you can do once you shut down the other light tank. A lot of times it's a duel between the light tanks if he's a good enough player and can stay out of being spotted. If you're fighting against a Manticore and a 13105 or something, any other light tank you think is probably going to out camo you a bit, you got to be extra uber careful. Select your positions so that you can actually hide if you need to or get away. Where he went was a terrible spot. You do have one other option. One option is to YOLO in and try to find him, and maybe you survive the crossfire and he doesn't. That's not a great option. I don't like that. I have had people do that before, and I could tell kind of they're thinking, well, I can't really outspot this guy or outscout this guy, so I'm just going to YOLO in where I think he is, and maybe we get him dead. And sometimes it works. Sometimes it works. So be careful if you're in the more stealthy scout and you're working an area really well and the enemy realizes that you're in there, and if they don't get rid of you, they're in trouble because you may suffer a YOLO pretty quickly. So just really pay attention for that. Make sure you've got your escape route set up. One thing you can do on a map like this is, you know how I had my hole was forward towards the enemy. One thing I see people do is they'll turn around, they'll back. And you want to go slow anyway, because if you can burn through before they see you and not go so fast that you go into their spotting range, sometimes you can outspot a scout even in bushes right there. Obviously, once you get into proxy light range, it doesn't matter, it's automatic. But if you're pointing away, at least you can have more speed. The bad news there is that the back of your tank, not that light tanks have a whole lot of camo, but it is the back of your tank where engines tend to be and things like that. So it's a trade-off, my friends. It's a trade-off. There you go. Some scout thoughts. Try to get your scout to the mid to late game, and it can be pretty funny after that. That's all I've got. We will see you.